Hello, I'm Brian. Today I'll be harvesting this Black Prince tomato behind me, and it looks to be a pretty hot day today. It's 7:33 and the sun's already beat me out here. We have some interesting lighting with the shadows and whatnot. But before we harvest the Black Prince tomato, let's look at what other tomatoes are growing in the raised planters. And here's the star of our show, the Heirloom Black Prince tomato. In permaculture, the planter is set in what's called a zone 1, and what that means is the planting area is closest to the house, where it is protected from the elements and nature, and that's why we're less likely to see rats chewing on it or birds pecking on it. There's some odd looking ones, and I think I'll give them to my rabbit and tortoises to eat. This is a red noodle bean, asparagus bean, yard long bean, Chinese bean. I'm going to show you real quick. Back here we have more Black Prince tomatoes in the making. And the other thing about permaculture is, well, first of all, it's a style. We have many gardening styles. I'm going through all of them as I progress in gardening. And with permaculture, it's more of a stand back, hands off gardening method where we try to work with nature. And in this case, there is at least a couple of hornworms that have begun to chew up some of the leaves here. I'm going to try to find it for you. They're a little bit hard to find, and I've spotted them in before, and I've left them on here because there's a lot of foliage here for them to chew on. And if they're not here, I would have probably came in here and pruned the leaves back. So I'm leaving them here, and here's the hornworm. It took me a little while to find him. He's a pretty good size now. I leave him on here because I'll end up feeding him to my fish, and at the same time he's speeding the composting process by chewing up the leaves and turning it into caterpillar manure. So I don't mind him too much. I just watch him and make sure he doesn't do too much damage, and if he does, I'll feed him to the fish a little bit sooner. Here are my Roma tomatoes. I'm a little bit disappointed. I thought they'd be a little bit bigger, so maybe that's a function of my soil quality. In this other bed here, we have more tomatoes, more Black Prince tomatoes. And as I said, I had a crop failure last year. I made a transplanting video. I think I transplanted one or two, and my tortoise rolled over it, flattened it, and we didn't have any Black Prince tomatoes. Here's some damage, and it's going to be tortoise or rabbit food. So what I did was I planted a whole bunch of Black Prince tomatoes this year. They all sprouted, they all did well, and I had a lot of tomatoes to plant, so I didn't have the heart to throw them out, so I found space for them. Here are some Roma tomatoes. Hopefully these ones will be a little bit bigger. These were sown a little bit later. So let's go back and harvest that Black Prince tomato, and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. It's pretty cool. It's got really, really nice color, and you'll see why many of us like to grow heirloom tomatoes. Compared to the commercial varieties, they're meatier. You're going to get a lot of flavor. They're softer and more packed with juices and stuff. So I'm already having my mouth water for some burgers. So here they are. I'll get out of the way and show you that dramatic lighting that we're getting from the sun, and see if you can hear the June beetles buzzing around. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time.